Okay, here I am. Sorry, I have something to do. So, hey everybody, how are you tonight? And welcome to Sunday Night Live with me, your host, Brett Rogers. That's like some kind of a special Hollywood gig, isn't it? So let's see. Oh my God, look how many people. No, it's the same people over and over. Bob Saget is here. Zodiac Killer. I need a massage. I hope that we don't have any that I have to block tonight. It's one of those regular things. So, everybody, I have a small list of things to talk about tonight, but I might be able to come up with some more, or maybe you could suggest some things. But I've been really busy here doing things out in the yard with the chickens and things. Oh, I got my first eggs. That's one of the subjects, one of my very first eggs. And so, okay. Okay. There we go. So, anyways, you guys, here are the subjects for this evening. The deal with eating animals, starters all planted, happy spring, buy my products, you'll love them, yoga bolsters, foot friend rollers, waiting for the gas to pass. Since nobody wanted to talk about real health, how many times have you heard the phrase, and then I'll tell you what that is, and then I'm okay with somebody, and then I'll do his accent. So does that sound good to everybody? Okay, yes, that is one of the subjects. I just had one of those eggs just a few minutes ago, and it's amazing. They're fluffy. They're like fluffy instead of like a good egg is the whites are fluffy and the yolk is very colorful. And a bad egg, the whites are rubbery in comparison. And the worse they are, the more rubbery they are. And you just get the feeling that rubbery whites of eggs clog one's body. And I'm sure that it's completely different biologically, chemically. And so, yes, and the eggs are amazing. I thought in the beginning, I felt the egg and I kind of just assumed from what I was told, So don't assume things, y'all. Don't assume things. But I assumed that because everyone else said that eggs from new chickens, like new hens that are just starting to lay eggs, the egg shells are not very strong. And the shells of the eggs that I've been getting, and I've gotten like over a dozen in the last 3 days, are amazingly thick, thicker than any eggs that I've ever bought at the store or got from anybody else around here. And the whatchamacallits, the membrane. The membrane is incredibly strong. So when you crack the egg, it's hard to break it open because the membrane is still holding it together. It's such a great egg. And it's not even spring yet. It's not even that green out there at all yet. So the more greens they eat, the more nutritious these eggs are going to get. So yeah, I encourage everyone to get themselves a couple of hens. If you've got a backyard, you can prevent them from flying out I think you can trim their wings so they can't fly over the fence. And there you go. You've got yourself a couple of hens. You've got to have greens for them to eat. You've got to have dirt for them to peck, you know, and you got to figure all that out. But it would be worth it. Yes, Mo, eggs. Good. So, let's see. The deal with eating animals, and that's just what we were talking about. The animals, the chickens that I have out there, I let them loose in the morning, and they go and they do their thing all day, and they're running around all over the property and pecking bugs and dirt and grass and the feed that I feed them. And so that makes them really healthy. And they're healthy mentally and physically. And you see, in China, you got to know that they're raising animals really badly. You know how badly people like Tyson Chicken raise chickens in little cages, thousands and thousands of them. Well, in China, there's a lot of small production businesses like that raising dogs and bats and all kinds of strange animals that we'd probably never consider eating. And really, it might not be so bad to eat some different kinds of animals, but if they're raised in cages, it's not going to fly. It's not going to be a healthy animal to eat. And really, the best thing to do, ultimately for us, a lot of us anyway, is to get to vegan. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work more and more towards a vegan diet. So, there. So yeah, the trolls are getting ousted. Yeah, it's a continual problem. But let's see. So yeah, the animals have to be raised well for them to be healthy, and the plants as well. You know, you got to raise everything, and it doesn't matter if it's a tree or a vegetable or an animal or the air quality or whatever. That quality of everything that you're exposed to, including everything like entertainment, even your parents. Hopefully, you've got good quality parents better than mine were. But I got all my starters planted, and some of them are about like that, and some of them are just barely poking out of the dirt, but they're coming along really well, and I'm really happy with my grow light that I bought. And I wish I could take you into the other room. It would be cool to show you my starters growing. And I've considered, they now have these external cameras as wireless. So I've kind of considered maybe doing that, but I don't really want to spend the money, even though I think they're only like $30. So maybe I will. But for right now, you can just imagine, you can just visualize my little starter plants. I've got kale and collards and two kinds of chard, two kinds of beets, spinach. The spinach is growing really well. I've got some muscalane lettuce. I think that's how you say it, something like that. Musclane lettuce. Yeah. Okay, so happy spring, everybody. Happy spring. It's March the 1st, and I know that spring is not technically here until March the 19th, but you know, I consider the winter to be December, January, and February. And so after February is over, then it's the spring. And so yeah, happy spring, everybody. 18 people watching. Thank you. It's cool. Welcome. I recently was told I have vertigo. Vertigo. I have heard there is no cure, but some say there is based on diet. P.S. I am using your video from way back about forearm massage to help carpal or joint pain. Okay, so I told people last Sunday that really it's best to focus on your overall health. And you can start studying books and watching videos and learning all of the things that you need to do to increase the quality of your health. And whether you've been diagnosed with some specific thing by a medical doctor that's only going to live to be maybe 75 years if he's lucky, and then he'll be dead from his job, or, whatever. Those people, they don't understand what real health is. Real health is taking care of yourself at home. And now if you get into some kind of an accident and you need to go to the hospital, well, it's great to have a doctor there to stitch you up or to pull the bullets out of you, something to that degree. But if you eat a healthy diet, then you're not going to have 90 of the illnesses that people have nowadays. But if you're eating dairy or if you're eating wheat and you're eating mass-produced meat products, then you're going to get clogged, and then you're going to get bacterial and fungal and viral infections. You might not survive the coronavirus, depending on how sick you are. We're seeing that. So I tell people, focus on your overall health and don't worry about the vertigo or whatever the hell it's called. I don't even know what it is. Love is the solution. Like I know the people that are welcome here, and you can see the screwballs that get ousted. Yeah. There goes another one. I can I can oust them all night long. So, anyways, happy spring, and the next thing is buy my products, y'all. I just finished the last orders that I had on the list, and so I'm ready to make pillows. I'm ready to make yoga bolsters. If you like yoga, if you need to stretch your shoulders back, that's another one of the products that I've invented besides the roller to stretch your shoulders back. And you just lay on it. It's full of buckwheat hulls, so it's really firm. And they come in sets of 3. The long one, the neck bolster. So that's a really awesome product, and they're all organic. And yeah. So yeah, consider those. And the Foot Friend, the orthotics are awesome. And my Millet Hole pillows are on sale for $45 for the solid colors. $45, y'all. 45. I'll make you a Millet Hole pillow that you will love for years and years. And people think, oh, that's really expensive, but that's really not, because these last for, I've heard people say they've had them for 10 years or more. And like theoretically, you can dump all the millet holes out of them and replace those and just keep washing the inner zippered pillow and the cases. You could buy another case. One could last for 20 years. They don't go flat like feathers or other foam types of pillows. So they're really the best. So you should really consider one of my products. Brett'sNaturalHealth.com. So let's see. Waiting. I have this friend, this Facebook friend, and she emailed me a little while ago, and she said that she had been called over to her friend, or not a friend, but a neighbor of hers, an 80-year-old man, a neighbor of hers, that he thought that he needed to go to the hospital, but then he thought, I think it's just gas. So she says, well, I'm waiting over at his house to make sure that he's okay. And I'm like, well, you're like waiting over there for the gas to pass. You better wait outside. Oh yeah, I was gonna turn the volume down because there might be feedback. Tell me, guys, if that is better. Like, because I've noticed on the videos of these live performances that sometimes you can hear, like, I think a feedback. Tell me if that helped by just turning down my volume, the volume on my computer. So, let's see. What suburb do you live in, Cheryl? Okay, okay. Just making sure there was no more trolls. All right. So, since nobody wanted to talk about real health, and the video that's on my homepage on YouTube, it talks about in there how nobody wants to listen to my ideas for how to make America better, great, whatever. And that was the first that I think that people should stop consuming processed foods. And now we have something wonderful that is helping us, that's really, really encouraging us to start thinking about our health. And it's called the coronavirus. So hopefully me, not just me, but a whole lot of other people, and I've seen some videos on YouTube, a whole lot of other health teacher people are telling people, well, the healthier you are in this regard and that regard and this thing and that thing, then the less likely you are to be killed by some kind of a virus like the coronavirus, just like I was telling you the other day. And so it's going to possibly, to a lot of people anyway, not everyone, probably not most people. Most people will continue to just go on with their same old yada yada. But some people will actually kick themselves in the butt and decide to start making some changes. And so just think how great this coronavirus is out there. And so another thing is, like, it probably is a good idea to go out and stock up on some food, but not to freak out too much. Don't freak out. Just be prepared a little bit in your minds and to know that if you do catch it, you'll be able to take care of yourself because you watched my videos and you know that you need an enema bag or an enema bucket. You need psyllium seed and psyllium husk. You need lots of soup and other liquids to keep you hydrated and mineralized. Lights, they call it. Okay, so hydrated and mineralized. And you need to be able to flow. Your body needs to be able to flow. So you need to be able to sweat and shit and puke and cry and all the things that a person needs to do when they're fasting and trying to get out some kind of an invader. But it's a good thing because after you get through it, you will feel so much better and your immune system will have fought things off and you'll be stronger. Remember, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Everyone knows this. So it's a positive thing. But it's a positive thing, especially since you're watching my videos and you're doing the homework and you're getting prepared just in case it gets kind of ugly. But hopefully not. Now, you would really enjoy and you would really benefit from one of my Millet Hull pillows that are only $45 right now, because you will sleep so much better between now and whether you do or don't catch it or whatever. You will just be sleeping a lot better. And if you get one of my spine rollers, like I just sent William Chang, I think it's Chang, out in California, just bought one of my 2-inch wide spine rollers. Man, just a fantastic product that you can use every day for the rest of your life. And then after you can leave it to somebody in your family to continue to use. They're solid wood, maple. They'll probably last for another 100, 200 years. And you can crack the crap out of your back and massage your spine, and you will just feel great every day. And all those little nerves going out to all parts of your body, the organs, and down your legs and your feet and down your arms and all of that. It's all going to get stimulated better because when you roll on those spinal muscles, it's stimulating your spine and all of those nerves going out. It's just a powerful tool. Okay, so anyways, I told her to wait outside the old man's house, and I sent her that video. If you have not seen the video, how to reduce gas, my good old classic, how to reduce gas, where you get into like child's pose and you really stick your butt up in the air and you massage your digestive system, and sure as you know what, you'll probably fart. Okay, it looks like we don't have a whole lot of the same commenter going over and over again with cool. Maybe those people will go away. They'll probably go open more accounts. So you can have up to 50 different channels on your. I'm not sure if everyone is allowed to have 50 different channels. Maybe it's just those of us that are monetized. But oh, and give me a thumbs up on this video. Thank you. Anytime you see my videos, I would really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up on them. It helps with the rankings. But anyways, okay, so since nobody wanted to talk about good health, like that's what I'm talking about now. Because now we can really talk about how beneficial, potentially beneficial, some kind of a world pandemic can be for humanity. Because these things teach us so much. And we're going to learn what to do and what not to do and, blah, blah. Okay. How many times have you heard the long phrase that takes up so much airtime on the news? Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. How long does it take to say that? Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Imagine how much airtime that costs the channels every day to say that over and over. Hey, Tiffany. Does the audio sound good on this one? Is it making that little noise in the background? I turned down my volume on my computer, so I think that might help. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Terry. Thanks, Terry. I am feeling pretty good, Terry. I always feel better when I get a lot done, and I got a lot done today. I was having a chicken pecking problem. And that means that the chickens were pecking at the foam insulation that was skirting the Airstream trailer. And I caught them doing it. I caught them doing it with the cabin the other day on some foam insulation that was on the outside of the windows of the basement. And I'm like, oh my God. The chickens, they will get into anything. Okay, good. Thanks, Mario. So, the chickens will get into anything. If you leave something out there that's toxic, pretty soon you'll have dead chickens. And you don't want them getting into anything that's not natural. And they teach us the natural things. It's amazing. Just like the coronavirus, the chickens teach us things. We're the stewards of these animals. And these are the domesticated animals that they rely on us. Chickens are they're very domesticated, but mine are semi-wild. And they're amazing animals, and they can really fly pretty good. You should see how good they can fly. And yes, it is. Thanks for the carrot, Mike. And so Even even ladybugs, even ladybugs can teach us things. But mostly I feed them to the chickens. So anyways, I found out that the chickens were pecking the foam and they'll eat it. And then I looked it up online, and one guy said that his barred rock died from eating foam. And that's not surprising. Like some kind of a synthetic material, it's not breaking down in their digestive system, and it's just getting stuck in there. And so that's a problem. And I'm crossing my fingers that that doesn't happen with any of my chickens. I caught them fairly early on before they'd done too much pecking, but they had done some. So the job today was to cover the foam insulation. I got on the trailer, the Airstream trailer, there's foam insulation with lattice on the outside of it. And so I was able to take this material that a friend of mine gave me, this plastic plexiglass type of hard material, and bolt it all the way around the skirting of the Airstream today. That took me about 6 hours of work, maybe 5 hours of work. And then I had to haul ass home and finish the roller for William Chang and a couple of soother massage tools. I needed a couple more small soother massage tools for a couple of other orders. Finished those orders, got them all packed and shipped up, and they're ready to go. So now I am ready to make more products for anyone that wants them. Okay, so the last thing that I have written down here is that I'm okay with Bernie, and I would like to do Bernie. Together! Together! I'm not really good at doing the Northeastern accent, but I can say a few different words. Like I have a Facebook friend. Her name is Carla. If you're out there, Carla, please forgive me. Carla. You know what I'm talking about? It kind of reminds me of Archie Bunker. Does anybody remember that show back in the 70s? Archie Bunker. And anything with that, and I spell it like this. Together is spelled Together. But if you say it like Bernie, that's not how you spell it. It's Tagetha. Together. Together. And that's a pretty good accent for somebody from Utah. I'm from Utah and raised in Southern California. So yeah, cool, yeah. Vultures eat weird things too. They've been eating. Oh man, yeah. It's a sad thing, and humanity has learned the hard way. You'll see that all of this packaging and stuff, and like things that weird things that people are using as insulation in their houses, and paint and all kinds of chemicals and synthetic building materials, all of that stuff has no place in this world. It has a place now for a while, but eventually we're going to learn the downsides. We're going to learn the downsides of all of these things. And the animals, if you've got a farm and you've got animals, then they're going to get into stuff. Another example is like your dog drinking antifreeze. If your dog drinks antifreeze, you can pretty much kiss your dog goodbye, you know? And so we need to learn all of the natural substitutes. And one of the things that we really need to do also is, instead of just using packaging from the store, what we need is to be able to go and buy from bulk bins, like rice and beans and all of dry goods, non-perishable goods. But they need to have even perishable goods in great big like plastic containers. And then everybody takes their own containers to the store, loads up those containers with like some kind of a dipping device, close your container, you take your container home, and everybody has like the same kinds of containers, right? Maybe the government steps in and says, okay, we are mandating, because we are so sick of all the crap in the landfills, that we are mandating that everyone purchase all of these same containers. We have 5 different sizes of food containers. We have a 4-ounce, an 8-ounce, a 12-ounce, a 16-ounce, and a 20-ounce. And everyone owns these same containers with a lid. They're all universal, and they only cost 25 cents a piece or something, 50 cents a piece. And you can purchase these containers on wherever. But from now on, everybody has the same freaking container. You take this container and you fill it up at the store, and then you take it home and you wash it. And then you bring it back to the store. And then there's no more landfill, there's no more packaging at all. No more freaking packaging. There's only one label. There's one label on the big container. It's like a giant Rubbermaid thing. And there's one label on there that you can look at. If you want, you can even take one out of the little container. There's a whole bunch of them, and you can take one home with you. Or you can just look it up online to see what's in the product. Okay? And there's no more chemicals. There's no more preservatives in any of the food. This is the world that I'm going to live in after this one's over. A logical world instead of a stupid one. And, that may sound weird to some people, but why not? Like, we flew men to the moon, supposedly. We flew people to the moon. Think of all the things that we've done that are just like amazing. Wow. But we can't take our own containers to the store. Like, if we seriously wanted to start doing that, if aliens came to Earth and said, okay, you guys, if you guys don't start doing your own containers and a whole bunch of other things, then we're going to start eating you. Everyone that doesn't comply with sustainability, we're going to start eating all of the humans. I'd be like, right on, right on. I would be cheering them the whole way. Eat those freaking people. Eat them. So I told you before that I'm like really lonely out here. But I'm not totally lonely. I have some good Facebook friends, and I have clean water. And I thank God for this water. And every time I take a hot spring water bath, even if it's been raining hard and it's really got a lot of minerals in it, and that will happen in the groundwater here. And then I turn the water on and it's got an orange tint to it. I'm like, that doesn't bother me at all. Some people would freak out over that. You know what you freak out over? Chlorine, fluoride, and smog. Those are the things that I avoid. And so what else would y'all like me to talk about tonight? That's only 37 minutes. 37 minutes. Yes, human eating extraterrestrials. It's just all in the mind of an obscured human. Sorry. Nice, Niece Pie. Niecey Pie. Yeah, places that care about the environment more, they'll pass legislation. Like Costa Rica has some legislation in regards to all kinds of environmental things. And so people will just have to change. There are so many things people will have to change. But you guys should know that it might be anybody that does have money in the bank, that's making a good living, that's not too worried about any kind of fallout from the coronavirus. I would really appreciate your purchasing some of the products that I sell. And that is because it's been fairly slow lately. It's been fairly slow. And I am ready and willing to make you the awesome products that you need for your good health. Cynthia says, love my logic. Thank you, Cynthia. Patillo. Is that how you say it, Cynthia? Patillo? Patillo. Hi, Diana. Hi, Connor. Oh, it's good to see all the good people now just making comments and all the trolls are gone. Woo! Woo! Do you guys like my hair? I've gotten good. It didn't take a lot of practice. It just took a little bit of figuring out how to use the Flowbee hair cutting thing. And like, look at that. That's a pretty damn good haircut, ain't it? Is that a pretty good haircut, niece pie? It is. Have you seen those cornstarch and additive made straws? The authorities are banned plastic straws, and now there are cornstarch. That is cool, Joe. That's is that Mexico, all over Mexico, that they've banned plastic straws, or just in the county that you live in? Yes, great minds do think alike. So let's see. Okay, I don't think that Joe Biden has the strong mind, a strong enough mind. I think he's kind of getting old, but he was always a little bit like slow, you know? And I just don't think that people are going to buy into Joe Biden for the most part. Sure, he won in South Carolina. But no, I think that on Tuesday, we're going to see that Bernie Sanders is going to rise to the top. And the other part that I wanted to talk about with being okay with Bernie is that, you know, we saw a radical swing towards the right with Donald Trump, and people got what they needed and what they wanted in regards to conservative agendas, and that's cool. That's cool for them. But the problem is that they've got a president that's not legit. They've got a president that's a liar and a manipulator, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So kind of what we need to be able to, for people to be on board with Bernie Sanders, who has some things that, you know, I'd never go for, but he has a lot of good points in regards to the wealthy and corporations, et cetera, et cetera. And those people are never going to give up their control. Some of them have open hearts and they have better priorities than others, but for the most part, the filthy rich people of this country don't want to give it up. They only want to buy big toys for themselves, big houses and extravagancies. And so maybe we really do need somebody in there that's willing to say, you know, hey, that's not right. Because it's not right. It's not right. And there are a whole lot of things in the future that you're going to see that are going to promote people to being self-employed at home. And one of those things could very well be the coronavirus. Because if you have to stay home, some people will anyway, people are going to get a dabble, people are going to get a taste of thinking or maybe even doing their own business. Some kind of a little thing that they can do at home. Like, for instance, selling eggs. That's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm not going to make a lot of money. In fact, I probably won't make any money selling eggs. But it's possible that I could get some people to come over and learn some things about doing self-massage and or maybe buy some of my other products. See, when you sell one thing, it can lead to another thing. And just a simple little business. There are so many things that a person can do on their own at home with just a part-time business. And so bear in mind that, once again, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that includes financially. And, you know, one of the things right now that you can really benefit from is all the products that I have on sale on my website. Because, yeah, I'm really wanting the business. I'm really wanting you to have my products, like my Soother massage tools or my pillows, etc. And so I've got pretty much everything on sale. And some things, like if you really wanted a little bit of an extra discount, you could email me, Brett@brettsnaturalhealth.com, and I would consider it, but not the pillows. The pillows are as low as they're going to go. So, I've thought about that, something like medical coding. Good point. Just saw a news flash about Bloomberg running as a Democrat and promising amnesty to 111 million illegals. I don't know, man. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm not on board with Michael Bloomberg, and I don't think that most people are going to fall for that, yada, yada. And I think on Tuesday, we're pretty much going to find out that Bernie Sanders is gone way into the lead. But I voted, like I told you, for Amy Klobuchar. Even though I don't think that she's done very well in the last couple of debates, I still voted for her because I told you I was going to vote for her, and I like her, and I think she's moderate, and she's a good person. And I think that her priorities are pretty good, and she's not too extreme, etc. But the more I think about it, the more I listen to Bernie, the more I really like a lot of what he has to say. So, yeah, he won't be able to do a whole lot, I don't think, but you never know. What do you guys? You guys think that Bernie will be able to pull very many strings and actually get some things done with his extreme left agenda? Probably not. If he gets the minimum wage, like I cannot see the minimum wage being raised to $15 an hour. I'm sure that a whole lot of you would like that, and that it would benefit a whole lot of people. But at the same time, a lot of employers would have to lay a whole lot of people off, and a lot of businesses would go under, because especially small businesses that don't have a big profit margin. Like for me, for instance, say I got a little bit bigger and I was to the point of where I was like, man, I could hire somebody. If I could find somebody to hire for $10 an hour, I think I could do that. But there's no way, like right now, I cannot envision paying somebody $15 an hour for sewing, for instance. They would have to be a subcontractor and work at home. That's the only way that I could do that. And so there you go. There's another idea, another circumstance of where somebody could get a job working as a subcontractor doing products for me at home. So, yeah, those are my thoughts with that. But I don't think that Joe Biden is very sharp. I don't think his mind has ever been very sharp, and now I think it's worse. He seems to be kind of dull, you know, and he can't think of things sometimes. So, Bernie is a communist in sheep's clothing. Well, you know, I don't typically keep viewers very long that are like Republican right-wing Trump supporters. I don't keep them very long. I usually just block them, Wes, just so that you know, Wes. But I'm not a big Bernie fan, but you know, I'm definitely against Donald Trump with every bit of my being. I'm totally against everything pretty much that Donald Trump stands for. Other than, you know, I agree with a lot of his policies because I'm a moderate. I'm an independent. And I also consider myself to be a libertarian, which is a traditional Republican. But like I was telling Payson City Council, Payson, Utah City Council the other day, and then Mitt Romney was the only one that didn't support Donald Trump in the impeachment process. And so I sent an email to my hometown where I was born, Payson, Utah, and I told them that my grandpa used to be the owner of the grocery store in Payson for about 38 years, in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, early 70s. And he was also on the city council. And I told them, just because I wanted to tell them and because I felt as though perhaps my grandpa wanted me to tell them for him, that there is no way in hell that my full-on business owner, right-wing, not right-wing, but Republican, firmly Republican grandfather that owned the grocery store there would ever be a Trump supporter. And the reason is because my grandpa was a very honest man, just like I am. In fact, my mom has told me that I remind her of my grandpa Rogers a lot. And a whole lot of people in Payson, Utah still know and remember my grandpa, Roy Rogers, Payson, Utah, the owner of Roy's Food Mart for almost 40 years. But like I said, there's no way in hell that he or his friends, his good friends from those times, ever support a person like Donald Trump. Never. Yeah. Trump Jr. recently went hunting for a trophy bear. Well, that doesn't surprise me. All the assholes go out and hunt for trophy animals. So, what can you do? What can you do about that kind of thing, you know? So, I voted in the last election Libertarian for Johnson. What's his first name? Gary Johnson. I voted for Gary Johnson last time. I wasn't going to vote for Hillary, and I wasn't going to vote for Donald freaking Trump. But anyways, what else do you guys want to talk about? I didn't have a whole lot of things to write down tonight because I think I got a lot of them out on the plate last week. But I did buy a bunch of food this year, this week, non-perishable foods. And even though I don't have very much money saved, I kind of went out and decided it was better to play it safe than be sorry. The weather here is better today, but it's supposed to be like drizzly for about 5 days straight now. The next 5 days starting tomorrow morning. So that didn't really excite me, but at least it's not going to be cold. At least it's not going to be cold. March is typically not bad here. And then, the greens start coming up more and more the warmer it gets. We're already seeing the tulips coming up. And the grass is coming up a little bit. Oh, and the wild onions are poking out. And some buds on the trees. So it's getting pretty, But I've been worrying a little bit about finances and selling things, So once again, if anybody is interested in any of my products, please go to brettsnaturalhealth.com and consider them. And thanks, Wes. So yeah, I think that today, the March 1st, is the first day of spring, even though it's not officially until the 19th. And let's see. Oh, here's another subject. When I first moved to the country, I've told you that I went into a radical state of detox. And when I lived over at Rainbow Lake, remember the lake that I lived at? It was so bad. I was so sick so often. And I was I had so much inflammation. My body was just opening up like a clam. It was bad inflammation in my legs, my abdominal region, my digestive system, and my whole body was just killing me. And it's not as bad now. It's taken 5 years. You should see all the places. When I think back of all the places that I've lived at that were right on main like boulevards, because that's where the cheapest places are to live. And I just should have had, I don't know, more sense than to do that. And I really recommend that if you live anywhere, like live within a block or two of any kind of a busy road, that's a bad scene, y'all. The farther you can get away from auto exhaust, the better. And every day during rush hour, you're exposing yourself to big clouds of fumes. And it dissipates the farther it gets away from those boulevards and avenues, and so highways. So I lived on some busy roads for the most part my whole life, and 5 or 6 years ago, probably closer to 6 years ago, when I finally moved out to the country, it was crazy how my body just started releasing. And then during that time, I could not really exercise radically, aggressively, because it would overload me. Because when you exercise, it creates a lot of movement in your body, and then you start to release more toxins. And that's why when people get older, one of the reasons is that they don't really want to exercise, because they don't have the tools to detox. They don't understand in their minds the tools, the things that they need to do to be able to detox their bodies. Or maybe they're stuck in a situation of where they're constantly exposed to more and more chemicals, and they just can't get away from chlorine baths or whatever. And so, yeah, I've been feeling, starting last year, I started to exercise more. I did quite a few good bike rides last year. They're flying all over the place in here. I've got a bunch of ladybugs. I should catch them and take them out to my garden. They're supposed to be good for keeping the pests away. But it's really cool that I've got such good viewers and people that purchase my products, people that are Facebook friends. I am so blessed, because there's absolutely no way that I could live out here. I would be going stir crazy. Cabin fever, I'd be going nuts if I didn't have people to talk to live on Facebook or on talk to you guys on Sunday nights on the internet. I'm really blessed, and I want to thank you so much. And yes, ladybugs. Yes, I like to drink from the mason jars. I like glass. Glass is safe, Glass is a safe thing to drink from. But anyways, I think I'm going to call it a night early. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Niece Pie and Joe and Connor. And I know that, let's see, Andrew from San Francisco, thanks for joining us. And who else? Diana is always with me. Thank you, Diana. I like my hair too. What else? Somebody the other day said that I look like a raisin, like I'm wrinkly. Do you guys think that I look like a raisin? I did look pretty worn out from cleansing, but that's just how it goes. It goes up and down. I just checked my weight a few minutes ago, and I'm still 158 or 9 pounds. I may have lost a few pounds this spring so far this year. But I'm holding on. I was thinking, also that I might include some of my eggs with orders. Like if you guys place an order for a millet pillow, I might include like a half a dozen eggs. Somebody just donated $20. Who did it? Mario. Thanks, Mario. Mario is always a good donator. And I really appreciate it, Mario. You're awesome, man. So, yeah, I was thinking that if I've got some extra eggs, and I think I will have, I'm going to sell them locally. But if I've got some extra eggs hanging around, and somebody has been a really good customer, that's what I do. Sometimes I'll make them a nice bag, a nice grocery bag. I've given away soother massage tools and grocery bags, and I think I've given away a few pillowcases and stuff. And I really appreciate it when people buy stuff like over and over again. I've got a bunch of people that really like my products and they keep buying them over and over again. They'll buy them as gifts too. They make great gifts. Um, one Facebook friend in Canada just bought her parents, or maybe it was her sister, no, her parents in South Carolina, a couple of my millet hull pillows. Yeah. Thanks so much. That was Joanna. Joanna. Thank you. So thank you, Mario, for the donation. Very kind of you, man. I really appreciate you. And thanks, everybody, for watching my videos. And I hope that you have a really good week. And I want you to not worry about the coronavirus, Just understand that it's all nature and it's all part of God. And when people don't live right, when people are not doing right amongst the animals in China and stuff, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Stuff's going to happen. And and it's all good. It's all good. If you get the coronavirus, it's most likely that you're going to survive it. If you don't survive it, then you get to go to the next world. And don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. That doesn't help anything. Just do the best you can, and that's all there is to it. And so thanks everybody for joining me, and I want you to have a really good week. And don't worry. Pa-pa-da-da. Be happy. Here's a little song I wrote. You might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry. Pa-pa-da-da. Be happy.